Howdy folks, No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1 is a monumental update that has brought scores of new players to the game, as well as scores of old ones back to it. Every video I've seen on the update is praising the new water and cloud tech, the wind simulation, the expanded variety, and the new fauna. And those additions are all great, obviously. However, since y'all already know about all the big stuff, I figured I ought to shine a light on some of the other hard work Hello Games has put into the update. I'm Kanaju, and these are the top 10 overlooked changes in No Man's Sky Worlds, Part 1, that you might have missed. As usual, this video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. And if you enjoy this video by the end of it, leaving a like helps tremendously. If not, no worries. Alright, so these changes aren't in any ranked order, but I will be going in descending order for the list, so let's get started. Number 10, Vile Brood missions. If you're like me, you probably spend more time exploring planets than hanging around in the Nexus. Heck, even if you spend a lot of time in the Nexus, like I did to capture this footage, there's a fair chance you haven't seen the new Exterminate Vile Broods mission. Seriously, I sat around with the Nexus mission board open in the background for like an hour waiting for this mission to appear, which it did for a brief second, and it eventually showed up again, but my game froze on the way to the mission planet, so third time's the charm, right? This new multiplayer mission tasks you with eliminating the new brood mothers added in this update. It's a pretty straightforward Nexus mission, actually. You're sent down to the planet to collect grubs, which you can actually skip if you already have them in your inventory, which I did. Then it becomes a boss rush, essentially. For my particular mission, I had to take out 4 vile mothers. It was pretty fun since I love boss battles, but admittedly, it's not my new favorite Nexus mission or anything. I didn't even get my reward since my talking with the anomaly completely failed. I got some real nausea-inducing footage from that. 2 hours of attempts amounted to nothing, but at least I got the footage, right? Number 9, DLSS3. I know it may not sound like the most exciting upgrade, but it's great to see that Hello Games are always working with the latest tech available to them. And I'm not just talking about the PS5 Pro leaks. For those unaware, DLSS stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling. It's software that allows NVIDIA graphics cards to render games at a lower resolution, and then upscale them for a boost to performance with almost no noticeable loss in visuals. It's cool tech, and DLSS3 takes it even further by creating entire frames between renders to increase the frame rate. Of course, none of this applies to console players since we all rely on AMD chips with Fidelity FX Super Resolution, which is quite similar. But I wanted to highlight it since it demonstrates Hello Games' ongoing commitment to engine improvements and optimizations. And heck, the patch notes and Martin Griffiths, an engine programmer, wrote that the game can procedurally generate worlds at almost twice the speed now as of this update. So it's all very impressive what they're doing under the hood, as I'm sure it's pretty obvious for most players. Number 8. They added 3 new Skylight roof parts. Easily missed in all the hubbub was the addition of 3 new base building parts. These parts give architects a way to bring a little more light into their creations. Or perhaps a new way to see the stars if it's nighttime. It's especially notable because this is the first and only stone building part to actually feature glass, which is very cool. And of course it also comes in timber and alloy varieties. Y'all know new build parts are always appreciated. Number 7. The Vessel of Many Mouths gets some love. Which sounds weird. But seriously, not only do these baby Titan worms now feature the boss battle UI, but their encounter has also been reworked. Now, fewer spawn when you reach a burrow, but they're able to spit acid. Granted, it's about as acidic as Coca-Cola, but it's cool that they finally have a ranged attack. Once you kill one of them, biological horrors will rise from the ground. Defeating the worms also drops vile spawns, as it did before. However, the patch notes state, quote, fixed an issue that prevented the acquisition of worm cult story documents from the Titan worm's vile spawn, unquote. Now, I haven't seen any cult documents since the patch, but it might be, RNG based and I just need to hunt some more worms. Let me know if you found any in the comments below. Number 6. You can now build your own solar ships. Of course, I realize this might not be the most overlooked feature, but with everyone so enthralled with the new planets and water, I haven't seen much buzz around this. Still, it was a heavily requested addition to starship building, and it's here in full. You can now scrap solar ships for parts and then use those to build your own. Plus, solar ships are compatible with all of the paint options available at the moment, so there are some pretty sweet new combinations possible. Again, I haven't seen folks showing off their new solars, but maybe I just haven't been looking in the right places. Okay, so we're about halfway through the list. If you're enjoying the video, liking it helps me know, and it also helps other folks find it. Thanks. Number 5. Previously named / uploaded discoveries can now be renamed and re-uploaded. That's according to the patch notes. Now, it should be said that you don't seem to be able to rename previously uploaded but unnamed discoveries. That could either be a bug or poor testing on my part, but let me know in the comments if you've given this feature a try yet and what you were renaming. Maybe you named a planet, something like Perfect Earth, and now that the universe has changed, it looks completely different. Happens more often than you know. Well, now you can name it something more accurate. Also, if we're not able to retroactively rename previously uploaded but unnamed discoveries, it'd be a lot cooler if we could, Anyways, number 4. The Minotaur is better. That's right. Everyone's favorite mech suit / robotic bodyguard has once again received an upgrade. The big ticket items are the new Liquidator armor and the flamethrower attachment, which will unlock for everyone during the Liquidator's expedition. Since that expedition is launching as I speak, and not everyone engages with expeditions, it's fair to say that those new mech parts have been overshadowed by all the new shiny planets. However, besides those upgrades, the Minotaur's AI has also been improved. It's now capable of targeting biological horrors in a fight, no doubt to help out in the Liquidator's expedition. This is great because the biological horrors can also aggro on the Minotaur. In my footage you can see it stunning enemies, taking their aggro, and dealing damage. It's a pretty great upgrade that I'm surprised wasn't in the game before. Also, biological horrors now drop some disgusting meat when you kill them. It's even cookable with all new recipes, so I'm told. I haven't quite been hungry enough to try them myself yet. Number 3. More loot on planets. According to the patch notes, quote, the chance of a world having ancient bones or salvageable scrap has been increased, unquote. That means more planets with loot. Even better though is the next bullet point. Worlds with salvageable scrap occasionally feature additional rusted remnants to collect. If you've seen my previous videos on planetary variety, you know how excited I was to read this. It means that worlds with scrap now have a very low chance of also having abandoned wreckage like this on the surface. Looting these wrecks has so far given me a suspicious tech packet and an anomaly detector, both good hauls. If you're wondering why I only have the worst footage of those two instances, it's because after a week of playing nothing but No Man's Sky worlds, I have only encountered one planet with the new abandoned wrecks. And it also happened to be the worst planet I've visited since Worlds. Just a terrible place. It has poor visibility, extreme weather, hostile sentinels, just the trifecta of terrible, right? I spent well over an hour on this hellhole yesterday just looking for wrecks, and I only came across 2 in that whole time. I'm actually glad they're so rare. I think rare things in the game, instead of everything just being handed to you as soon as you land, is a good thing. I just wish the ones I found weren't on the worst planet ever. Number 2. Planets can now have a range of additional atmospheric effects that match their ambient weather and hazard conditions. So say the patch notes. While the new biomes are cool and the new water and clouds are definitely transformative, there are other changes that affect all planets. For one, nighttime lighting has been completely overhauled. Instead of always being blue at night, it can now vary according to the planet's natural environment, as per the patch notes. Not only that, but the level of darkness can also vary from planet to planet. Look at how dark this one is, for example. I actually needed a flashlight to look around, which is cool. Another neat detail is that darkness can vary over time, so certain times of night are darker than others. Great changes overall. And you know I'm serious because it was at the beginning of my hour-long list of potential changes. Considering half the time we spend on a planet might be at night, it's great that night times can now be as varied as daytimes. Another small improvement, or rather maybe overlooked change, are new ground textures for the new biomes. It probably seems like a small detail, but believe you me, it makes a difference. Also, I feel like they've adjusted which types of storms are possible in which biomes, but I need to do more research before I can confirm that. If you've seen any new storms since the update, please let me know in the comments below. Finally, number 1 on our list, new gestures. If you're the type of player who plays alone or in first person, you may have missed the 4 new gestures in your quick menu, 3 of which seem to have been suggested by someone called Megaforce on Twitter. The first one, the second one, and the third one. See how they match up? Good for them, I say. The fourth one is a new dance, and I don't know the name of it since it's just called dance, but looks like a Running Man or something. Y'all let me know if any of you are dancers. I'm just happy to have another dance emote, honestly. But that's it for my short list of 10 overlooked changes in No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1 that you might have missed. Of course, there are even more that I didn't cover, so let me know what you think is overlooked in the comments below. Is it the upgraded target sweep? Or maybe the addition of biscuits to the catalog? Maybe it's the fact that my settlement rearranged itself in such a way that I'm using it as an excuse to find a new settlement. You tell me. And if you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, liking it would really help. If you're interested in more No Man's Sky deep dives and the occasional Assassin's Creed video, you can subscribe now, free of charge. Or if you hate free stuff, you can also join my channel as a valued member and support me more directly. There are a few fun perks too. Regardless, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!